Okay, awesome. So my name is Alicia Patterson, and this is BSW Competency 5, Engage in Policy Practice. And the policy in which I am discussing is the Jason Flatt Act, Georgia, but more specifically, the policy that we uphold in Columbia County, that should a student present themselves as a risk to either themselves or others, that they be assessed upon before returning to school. And let's see. So this policy significantly impacts the population we serve, which are Columbia County students, because it spreads awareness of suicide and its risk factors to staff and students, and enables students to get help when identified as being at risk. And that's what the Jason Flatt Act does, is it requires that all Georgia schools have student prevention or suicide prevention policy and education in place. But however, part of the assessment policy is that once identified as being at risk, the student is recommended that they are assessed before returning to school, and should that parent refuse, that could result in a DFACS referral. So we do offer a assessment that is free of charge to the parent, either through their insurance, or if they don't have insurance, then it's no charge at all. It's a mobile crisis unit provided by the Georgia Crisis and Access Line, and they can come to wherever the student is. They can come to the school, they can come to the home, wherever they need to be, and perform that assessment, but parents don't always accept this. And so there are not very many resources available for students who need consistent and continuous psychiatric care, because even if the parent accepts the mobile crisis unit to perform that initial assessment, they refer out for continuous follow-up appointments and continuous counseling sessions and things of that nature. And there aren't enough resources in the area to consistently meet these children's mental health needs. Policy. I'm sorry? Oh, pause? Oh, I don't even know. And so the Georgia Crisis Mobile Unit is only one of the options offered to the parents. That's only if if they're unable to seek an assessment from their physician or pediatrician or any other professional that can do so. So the parent does have choices and options, but there are times where the parent has neglected to obtain that assessment, and that is when a DFACS referral may be made. But as mentioned before, there are psychiatric wards in our area have closed. There aren't many that cater to our youth, and oftentimes they have to go to to facilities in Savannah or other cities, so they have to travel outside of Augusta to receive that care. And oftentimes at these facilities there's no room, the beds are full. So these students are required to receive assessments and should be given continuous care, but a lot of times there just aren't the resources available to help them. So I feel that although this policy is great in identifying needs and spreading awareness and providing education to staff and students, there needs to be more resources in our local area to help these children. And I feel that what can be done better, aside from the community opening up more establishments and facilities to treat these children for their mental health needs, would be if a safety plan meeting was held upon the student's return. There are schools in our county that are consistent with that and others that are not, and I feel that this should be mandatory and consistent in order to better serve our student population and their families.